will be using the screens this morning, so be sure you can see the screens well enough because the main drive is the pictures.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Please stand as we begin this special morning. He is risen.
He is risen.
Christ is risen.
Christ is risen.
Christ is risen indeed.
Christ is risen indeed.
Okay. Join us in singing our first hymns, number 174 in the hymnals, or it's on the screen. No? Where's that? See in here. I guess we're going to do a responsive reading. Psalm 118 is what we're looking at here. And it'll be up there. Give thanks to the Lord, for he is good. His faithful love endures forever. Let those who fear the Lord say, his faithful love endures forever. Open the gates of righteousness for me.
I will enter through them and give thanks to the Lord.
This is the gate of the Lord.
The righteous will enter through it.
I will give thanks to you because you have answered me and become my salvation.
The stone the builders rejected has become the cornerstone.
This is the day the Lord has made.
Let us rejoice and be glad in it.
You are my God.
I will give you thanks
You are my God.
I will exalt you.
I give thanks to the Lord, for he is good.
His faithful love endures forever.
Am I done now?
This morning, I want to take a walk with you in the times and events of a special Passover celebration in about the year 30-ish. It's been a hot, dusty journey to get to Jerusalem. New pair of sandals would be welcome. Everybody keeps stepping on my toes. I've never experienced this large of a crowd. But wait, the crowd is shifting. What is everybody doing moving away from the temple? What's that coming down the road from Bethany? The noise is deafening. Now the entire parade is going along the pathway on the east side of the temple. Whoever is in charge is really thinking ahead. If they had gone the other direction, they would have passed the Roman garrison. The Roman soldiers are already on edge because of the crowd, and you don't want to make them mad at you. I've been asking around, who is this? I heard someone say Jesus of Nazareth. The parade appears to have ended on the temple steps. Just a little FYI, this is not the temple that Solomon built. It is known as the Second Temple, as the Assyrians destroyed the original one in 586 BC. The temple Jesus knew had actually been expanded and renovated by Herod the Great around 20 BC. Anyway, I can tell there's a big commotion inside the gates, but I can't get anywhere close to being able to enter because of the crowd. I did manage to get a glimpse of Jesus when he came back out and started teaching here on the steps. This is going to be a really interesting week. I've been doing a little research on what is taking place. People have been telling me it's a culmination of prophecy. The events that are happening were foretold in the writings of Psalms, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Zechariah, and Jesus isn't the only one fulfilling the prophecies. The entire nation of Israel is, just in by rejecting him. It's been several days now since the big parade, and I'm starting to adjust to moving around in the crowd. The sights and smells of the Passover celebration are unbelievable. Jesus has been back and forth to Bethany and has been teaching in the temple area, wowing everyone with his teaching, performing miracles, telling parables, end-time predictions. Everyone, that is, except the Sadducees and Pharisees. What happened next may be really difficult for some people to believe. I'll see if I can walk you through it. Imagine it's Passover. Jesus has finished a meal with the disciples and headed towards the Garden of Gethsemane. In this Second Temple period, this garden would have been what we now call an olive orchard. In the future, the area may become a tourist attraction. Oh well, that might keep it from becoming a camel parking lot, but I digress. Jesus is praying. Let's join him.
This comes out of John 17:20. My prayer is not for them alone. I pray also for all those who will believe in me through their message, that all of them may be one, Father, just as you are in me and I am in you. May they also be in us, so that the world may believe that you have sent me. I have given them glory that you gave me, that they may be one as we are one, in them and in you, in me. May I be brought to complete unity, to let the world know that you sent me and have loved them, even as you have loved me. Father, I want those you have given to me to be with me where I am and see my glory, the glory you have given me because you loved me before the creation of the world. Righteous Father, though the world does not know you, I know you, and they know that you have sent me. I have made you known to them and will continue to make you known in order that the love you have for me may be in them and that I myself may be in them.
Let's see if I can show you where things happened Thursday and Friday. The area where Jesus celebrated the Passover meal would have been somewhere around here. It would have been in the upper left-hand corner. Okay. Then the group would have left the city to go to Gethsemane, which would have been over to the right side. Now, after Jesus was arrested, he would have been taken to the area where you see the red roofs, which is kind of up on the top. This was a sign a wealthy person probably lived there. In other words, it's where the priests lived. Pilate and Herod were in town, so they went to the Praetorium, known as the place of judgment, which at the time was probably in Herod's palace, which, if you can just see a little bump, it's the biggest red roof area right before you get to the smaller houses. That's one of Herod's palaces. Anyway, I'm getting conflicting information from all the gossip flying around. Now, Pilate couldn't make up his mind what to do, so he had Jesus scourged. This was done in the garrison area, which, if you see on the upper right-hand side, it's actually behind that. The largest is the temple and the fortress of Fortress of Antonio, and the garrison and the Roman guards would have been directly behind that. Okay. Now, don't confuse the Jewish flogging with a Roman scourging. A flogging would have been just a slap on the wrist. Scourging was done by professional executioners, and most people didn't even survive them. A scourging only took about 3 minutes, but it was 3 minutes of hell. The guy who did Jesus probably lost points with his peers because Jesus didn't cry out in agony. Pilate has come over to the garrison area to issue judgment, and a crowd has gathered and is being whipped up by the Jewish leadership. These people were handpicked by the priests. Commoners weren't allowed into the area. I can hear their chilling cry of "Crucify him," even from the distance. It's now the priests are showing their true colors by telling Pilate just what he wants to hear. We have no king but Caesar.
If we can read together Heidelberg Catechism question and answer 39. Is it significant that Jesus was crucified instead of dying some other way? Yes. This death convinces me that he shouldered the curse which lay on me, since death by crucifixion was accursed by God.
Actually, the picture in here is totally incorrect. By this time, the beatings and scourging would have rendered Jesus unrecognizable. It's kind of hard to see on the picture, but there's a picture of Jesus carrying the cross, and he's in the typical garb of, he's got his nice clean white robe with the halo on his head and such. By this time, the beatings and scourging would have rendered him unrecognizable. Where there still was skin that wasn't torn, it would have been bruised. Also, the total weight of a cross was about 300 pounds. Therefore, the vertical piece was usually left in the crucifixion area and reused. The cross beam would have been unique for the individual who was made to carry it. This brought the weight down to a mere 75 to 125 pounds. And that picture was taken in the Garrison area, where they figured in that area was where Jesus would have been scourged and such. Just walking with that much weight on your shoulders is bad enough. Now you have to weave your way through the market area on narrow streets of uneven stones. This is difficult even for people with good balance. The street vendors are busy hawking their wares, trying to turn this into a profitable holiday season. Some of them stop and go inside so as not to attract the attention of the Roman escorts. It is just another day with some more criminals being executed. Wait, the soldiers are grabbing someone to carry Jesus' crossbeam. They must be taking advantage of that Roman law allowing them to impress anyone to carry a burden for the stipulated distance of 1 mile. I can remember hearing someone quote Jesus about carrying a burden 2 miles instead of 1 and turning the other cheek. I think I'll follow along behind to see what happens. At a distance, of course. The procession has stopped here at the place of the skull. And if you can see it, you can kind of see a nose and eyes in there. But if you use your imagination, you can see a human face formed in the rock. I see the soldiers offering Jesus liquid via a sponge against his lips. Oh my, he's refusing it. Guess he knows this wine is mixed by pious Jerusalem women and offered to criminals as an act of mercy to ease their pain. The concoction contains myrrh and commonly referred to as gall. It can actually be poisonous. Perhaps this is Satan's last-ditch effort to squelch Jesus' earthly mission. I better start looking for cover. It's getting really dark and stormy here.
At this point, we turn to Psalm 22. It's on page 860 in your pew Bibles. My God, why have you forsaken me? Why are you so far from saving me, so far from the words of my groaning? Oh my God, I cry out by day, but you do not answer, by night, and am not silent. Yet you are enthroned as the Holy One. You are the praise of Israel. You are our fathers, in you our fathers put their trust. They trusted you, delivered them. They cried out to you and were saved. In you they trusted and were not disappointed. But I am a worm and not a man, scorned by men and despised by the people. All who see me mock me. They hurl insults, shaking their heads. He trusts in the Lord. Let the Lord rescue him. Let him deliver him, since he delights in him. Yet you brought me out of the womb. You made me trust in you, even at my mother's breast. From birth I was cast upon you. From my mother's womb, you have been my God. Do not be far from me, for trouble is near, and there is no one to help. Many bulls surround me, strong bulls of Bashan encircle me. Roaring lions tearing their prey, opening their mouths wide against me. I'm poured out like water, and all my bones are out of joint. My heart is turned to wax, it is melted away within me. My strength is dried up like a potsherd, and my tongue sticks to the roof of my mouth. You lay me in the dust of death. Dogs have surrounded me. A band of evil men has encircled me. They have pierced my hands and feet. I can count all my bones, people who stare and gloat over me. They divide my garments among them and cast lots for my clothing. But you, O Lord, be not far off. O my strength, come quickly and help me. Deliver my life from the sword, my precious life from the power of the dogs. Rescue me from the mouth of the lion. Save me from the horns of the wild oxen. I will declare your name to my brothers, and the congregation will praise you. You who fear the Lord, praise him. All you descendants of Jacob, honor him. Revere him, all you descendants of Israel. For he has not despised or disdained the suffering of the afflicted one. He has not hidden his face from him, but has listened to his cry for help. From you comes the theme of my praise and the great assembly before those who fear you. I will fulfill my vows. The poor will eat and be satisfied. They will seek the Lord, will praise him. May your hearts live forever. All the ends of the earth will remember and turn to the Lord, and all the families of the nations will bow down before him, for dominion belongs to the Lord, and he rules over all the nations. All the rich of the earth will feast and worship. All those who go down to the dust will kneel before him. Those who cannot keep themselves alive, posterity will serve them. Future generations will be told about the Lord. They will proclaim his righteousness to a people yet unborn, for he has done it.
The area around Jerusalem is limestone. It had originally been quarried to build the temple, so there are many natural caves that are being used as tombs. Joseph of Arimathea asked Pilate for Jesus' body and put it in a tomb that he intended he would use himself. I'm not just sure which spot they used. They had to rush before the Sabbath arrived. But life continues. The Sabbath has come and gone. There are so many unanswered questions. Where are Jesus' followers now? They seem to have just melted away into the crowd. Was everything Jesus said and did true? Was he a prophet, a priest, a king? Where was God in all this? Why was the temple curtain torn? Why did Jesus have to suffer so much? Is that all that remains? Just questions? And now, the excitement of the Passover is just a memory. And what an event to remember. I woke up early this morning, so I guess I may as well get started back home. But wait, did you feel something? That's all I need now is another earthquake. Hopefully it won't stay as dark as it was on Friday. Look, over there. I've never seen women moving so fast. Maybe I'll go and check out what they're running from. It looks like it's from the vicinity where Jesus was entombed. There aren't any guards around. I heard some had been posted so no one would do anything with the body. The stone is rolled away from the opening. It would have taken several very strong men to do that. I'll check inside. No one here. Wait a minute. I heard rumors about Jesus prophesying he would rise from the dead. Could this be true? Area and have some breakfast. Then I'll be ready to worship, learn, and celebrate what truly happened on this day.
I would invite you to stand. He is risen.
He is risen.
Christ is risen.
Christ is risen.
Christ is risen indeed.
Christ is risen indeed.
At this point, I'd invite you to take a moment to listen to the closing song here. It's called 7 Endless Miles by a Christian artist by the name of Michael Card.
Forlorn footsteps follow a pathway of denial, the pathway to Emmaus, down 7 endless miles. Forsaken, hopeless followers, faithlessly assumed. There's no one left to follow. Hope was buried in the tomb. As they discuss and argue and want to disagree, before we're only 2 words, now suddenly they're 3. What things were you discussing? Could you explain to me? He asked as he stepped out beyond the edge of mystery. But their pain and disappointment was more than they could tell, for they had hoped he was the one to rescue Israel. How foolish of heart, how slow to believe. Come be believe. Come be reconciled on these 7 endless miles. Mysteries disguised. The miracle of broken bread can open up your eyes. Faith will see beyond the mysteries disguised. The miracle of broken bread can open up your eyes. Of heart, how slow to believe. Come be reconciled on these 7 endless miles. How foolish of heart, how slow to believe. Come be reconciled on these 7 endless miles.
Miles. Go and spread God's love story to a fallen and broken world. We're done.